So, folks, that brings us to where are we at in terms of searching for Charlie Kirk's assassin. It's been a wild 24 hours, largely beginning with Steven Crowder going live like 16 hours ago and doing a short live stream in which he talks about information he got from sources inside the ATF. And maybe we'll start here, okay?
I'm going to try and find the right words here today. Here's what I ask for. I ask for grace all around because emotions are high for everyone and people sometimes are misinterpreted. Let's not try and score any points. There are children who don't have a father. The Kirk family who's affected forever. It's not a game. The left is not playing games.
What's wild is that I saw this man gleefully for over the course of like 3 hours talk about how awesome gay people dying from AIDS is and was. I've seen this man wish death and suffering on trans people.
And neither should you. And right now, we're very rare, for a very rare occasion, we're streaming live wide to YouTube. And this is going to be very short-lived. If you are on YouTube, the whole reason for Rumble is days like today. Head on over, because the kinds of things that I'm going to be saying probably get the channel nuked on YouTube. And let me be really clear here. I am not...
Wait, I thought you were calling for grace and a lowering of temperature. Wait a minute. Why would you get nuked on YouTube for advocating for lowering the temperature, man? Like, why are you gonna say the kinds of things that would get you nuked on YouTube? Kind of takes a lot. There's a lot of hateful, bigoted stuff that is allowed to be on YouTube. How are you gonna go beyond that line? That's so weird. Especially because a minute ago you were talking about grace and patience.
Not advocating. This is an inflection point. I am not advocating for violence, wanton violence against the left. I'm not advocating for a civil war. I'm not advocating for anything that should be a violation of big tech's policy that forbids you from fighting back, but it's going to get really fucking close.
That's really weird because I've been talking about this and I have people in my chat trying to add me to lists for terrorism charges for saying, I'm not going to mourn Charlie Kirk. And I'm also not going to celebrate his death. To people like Steven Crowder, that is tantamount to a complete and utter betrayal of the values of America, apparently. And they aren't going to go to civil war with me over that, but they're going to come pretty fucking close.
That's where I am. I hope I made myself clear. Let me just start with this morning, and you've seen this now. Our undercover team who did some work here, the best in the world, I'll just say Jay, codename Jay, who got this morning was a leak from someone who was a longtime viewer of the show and works under the DOJ. And so we released this, and now the media, the rest of the media is confirming it. There was a briefing confirming it. I want to read this to you because there's a lot of misinformation going around. On September 10th, 2025, this comes from our source, at approximately 12:24 p.m., conservative political influencer Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at the Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Let me make sure I get, okay. This is the stuff that you know. Mr. Kirk was... Multiple SLC 1 and 3 agents responded immediately. The suspect fired one shot from an elevated position on a rooftop in an adjacent building on the campus, and surveillance video shows the suspect jumping off and fleeing the area on foot. ATF and other law enforcement located an older model imported Mauser 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel in a wooded area near the campus. The location of the firearm appears to match the suspect's route of travel. The spent cartridge was still chambered in addition to 3 unspent rounds at the top-fed magazine. All cartridges have engraved wording on them, expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. An emergency trace has been submitted. An ATF SLC is working leads generated by the trace. The firearm and ammunition have been taken by the FBI, DNA analysis and fingerprint impressions. Upon completion of forensics, the firearm will be disassembled for additional importer information. Multiple people of interest have having contacted or detained because of eyewitnesses' testimony and review of video footage. The primary suspect is yet to be identified. ATF is assisting the investigation with multiple other, the rest. Engraved with trans and anti-fascist Antifa ideology.
We don't need to watch the rest of this, frankly, because this is literally very, very, very funny. In particular, because, one, Steven Crowder is trying to cite an anonymous source, and he throws up a screenshot. He throws up a screenshot from this anonymous source. Then he says, and the bullets had engraved on them pro-trans ideology and Antifa emblems. And I want to show you guys something that is commonly found on firearms, not firearms, bullets, casings. It's put there by the manufacturers. Now, I might not be so quick to say this, right? That this was manufacturer's marks mistaken somehow for pro-trans ideology, except that, well, as the day progressed, many other outlets started reporting Steven Crowder's claims here as truth. It's true. It's true. Well, let's take a look. You've got the Wall Street Journal trying to say that it's true. That was where I initially heard about this reporting. Wall Street Journal, by the way, does not cite Steven Crowder as the source of this information. But I do want to say one thing, and that is that the New York Times then came out a few hours later. A senior law enforcement official with direct knowledge of the investigation cautioned that the report had not been verified by ATF and analysts, did not match other summaries of the evidence, and might turn out to have been misread or misinterpreted. It's just ludicrous. It's just ludicrous. So the New York Times puts this out there. Like, the level of incompetence here is stunning, right? New York Times puts this out there. Law enforcement releases like a picture of the weapon. Here it is. The most bog standard hunting rifle you can imagine. And basically, well, the Wall Street Journal has since issued an apology for the reporting. Okay? They apologized and retracted the story where they claimed that the bullet casings had engravings of trans ideology on them. But the damage has already been done. Conservatives all now think this is a trans shooting, right? And one of the things I gotta put out there is that Steven Crowder is now in some deep shit. Just received word that my company is being subpoenaed by the ATF. No details yet, because he also posted the screenshot over on Twitter. So, every aspect of this is stupid as hell. Every aspect of this is stupid as hell. They're coming for him odd, really. It's not that odd, because Steven Crowder has made a lot of enemies in the conservative media space. Steven Crowder is not as well connected as many of the other conservative influencers. Don't get me wrong, he's still well connected, but not as well connected. And ever since he turned down that Daily Wire deal, he has been on the ropes.
If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. It's important to note his black t-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is video evidence that we utilized to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence.
So that's what we got. Some people have been frustrated with how this has all gone down, with how the investigation has gone down. And you know, I gotta say, there's a reason for that. And that reason is Donald Trump. That straight up. The massive, like, taking of resources from every other federal agency and funneling it into ICE has resulted in a huge number of federal law enforcement being in ICE rather than doing their other jobs. So this came out on the 9th. And I mean, it's fascinating to say the least. The reassignments are huge numbers. According to the Cato Institute, this diversion is not a small part of many of these agencies. It includes 1 in 5 U.S. Marshals, 1 in 5 FBI agents, half of DEA agents, and over 2/3 of the ATF, and nearly 90% of Homeland Security investigations. All of those personnel have been reassigned to work ICE. We're talking well over 10,000 agents that would otherwise be doing other targeted and niche activities working on ICE. And that means fewer officers to work cases like this one. It is all so stupid. You know, actually, I do have footage of the press conference. I wonder...
This is a mic check. 1, 2...
I wonder if he'll be his usual 1, 2, self 3, 4, here. 5. Is Kash Patel not at this press conference? Let's see what you got.
FBI.
I guess, you know, in order to make him feel included... I know Kash Patel was on the ground today, so the fact that he wasn't there is very weird to me, but okay. Okay, I have two images of Kash Patel that we can use, okay? Here he is. Here's number 1. It's too big though. Get smaller. And like, hey man, I get it. I've taken some bad ID photos before in the past. I understand. Or we could go with this one, which I quite like. I think this is great. I think we'll go with the second one. All right, here we go.
Speaker is Special Agent in Charge, Robert Bowles, R-O-B-E-R-T, last name B-O-H-L-S. And then for the Utah Department of Public Safety, we have Commissioner Bo
He's there in
Mason,
spirit chat.
B-E-A-U, last name M-A-S-O-N. Anyone need me to repeat that?
Yeah, one more time, please.
One more time. Robert Bowles, R-O-B-E-R-T.
Good night, Dragonfly.
Bowles,
Get good sleep.
B-O-H-L-S.
Thanks for being here.
And then Bo Mason, B-E-A-U.
Okay, we don't need this.
Mason at night.
Historically, on 9/11, law enforcement has come together as a group to recognize and honor those that sacrificed,
Not Kash Patel, though.
preserve the ideals of this country, the freedoms of this country.
Can you put him on the right side? Yeah.
Today,
Oh god,
having a murderer
I moved the wrong thing.
who chose to violate our rights, the rights of an individual within this country.
Nailed it.
Just to recap yesterday's events, at around 12:20 p.m., political influencer Charlie Kirk was at Utah Valley University participating in a student-sponsored event with Turning Point USA. Charlie was shot at that event. He was transported to a local hospital where he later passed. Last night, his body was moved to the state office of the medical examiner. We will continue to facilitate movements to get him home today and with his family. Yesterday, during the investigative process, we located a couple of persons of interest. We interviewed those individuals, and after releasing them and after clearing them of being suspects, they faced scrutiny, they faced threats. We asked the public to be patient with the investigative process. These individuals were not suspects, they were people of interest. We ask that you do not impose into those people and that investigative process. They don't deserve that harassment for being subject to that. I'd like to thank all the investigators that are involved in this. They have worked around the clock, all day yesterday, through the night last night. Investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations, from county, from city agencies, the university, our federal partners with the FBI, the ATF, and many others. Those are just a few of the people that we have involved in this. I'd like to thank all of them for their strong work. Through all
He's
that
there
work
in
last
spirit.
night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled.
Wait, you only have him tracked
Our investigators have
like
worked
10 minutes
through those
before the
neighborhoods,
shooting?
contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads. We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time. We are working through some technologies and some ways to identify this individual. If we are unsuccessful, we will reach out to you as the media and we will push that publicly to help us identify them. But we're confident in our abilities right now, and we would like to move forward in a manner that keeps everyone safe.
I don't know
and
that
move
they
this
got anything
process
on this guy.
appropriately. Last night I communicated with Erica. The family's devastated. As a commissioner of public safety, as a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. The heinous event that happened yesterday is not Utah. This is not what we're known for. Over the past several weeks,
I mean,
we've seen this state come together.
it's an open carry
help
state
families in mourning.
on an open carry
Come together as
campus.
a
I mean,
community to show what Utah is known for a state of character,
it's a state where everyone has
of
guns
camaraderie.
and might shoot each other at any moment.
We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear. Can't overstate the tragedy and the horrific event that yesterday was, and how we will work to bring to justice the actions of one individual or any other individuals that assisted in that.
Wait, so if you want to buy a
Our
gun
state is
in
going to allow,
Utah,
and we will come out
like a gun dealer has to give you one if you like have the money to buy it?
Good morning. My name is Robert Bowles, and I am the special agent in charge of the Salt Lake field office. Following yesterday's tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk, FBI agents have been working around the clock in coordination with our law enforcement
No
partners.
background checks to buy guns in Utah. That's crazy.
Until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it. This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation. The FBI's mission is to protect the American people. It's to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Any attack on the First Amendment is an attack on the very foundation of our democracy. That is why we will relentlessly pursue this case and the shooter until we find him. We also continue to grieve with the family and the community. It's our community. If you have any video or images from the shooting, we ask you to please submit them.
So they literally have nothing. They're asking for more
FBI.gov/Utah Valley shooting.
More to go on. That's
You
crazy.
can also call the FBI at 1-800.
I can't hear them. He's just doing thoughts and prayers,
We truly rely on the public's help. in
and
these types of
he's
cases.
now soliciting
And no tip is
video
small.
and pictures from the public.
Commissioner James Matthews from
They have blurry pictures and video, and all they have is the gun.
the shooter. There's clearly information about him or her.
God, this is quiet.
At this stage, in terms of tracking down who they are, can you talk to us about their movements, their demeanour? Do you think it's a man? And also, can I ask, what were the security arrangements in place? Was that roof being monitored? It's a question many people will have, particularly after pop.
So what I'll release about the suspect is suspect blended in well with a college institution. We're not releasing many details right now, and we will soon. But right now we're not. But that individual appears to be of college age.
We've got top
We are
men.
confident in our abilities to
Top
track
men.
that individual. If we're unsuccessful in identifying them immediately, we will reach out to the public's help and the media's help in pushing those photos. That was a new development overnight, working through the night, studying those cameras. So that's something that's new and that we're working through right now. As far as the security, I cannot speak to that. Neither the Department of Public Safety nor the Federal Bureau of Investigation was involved in the planning or security of this event, and that'll have to be a question later for other agencies.
I wanted to ask you, you mentioned that you found the gun in a wooded area. Do you believe that the suspect could be hiding in the woods? And is that suspect possibly still in this area?
So that's a good question, and it's a question that goes to the safety of the community, right?
Yeah.
No, not in those woods. We walked through those woods and secured it. As to the community, I can tell you that this was a targeted event. We don't believe that the community is at risk. However, we are exhausting every resource to find him, and we will do so.
Special Agent Bowles, with the BBC, from the images you have, can you see clearly the suspect's face? You say he's college age. Do you believe he was from this university? And how far do you think he may have gone in this time span?
So I can't comment specifically on his face or any details such as that, as it's continuing to be a part of the investigation, and again, we'll release that shortly. However, we're doing everything we can to find him, and we're not sure how far he has gone yet.
Knifey as Duck. It's an Indiana Jones reference. Kitsune Cavalier was responding to a joke I made.
But you have a clear image of his face?
We have images of the suspect.
So
Can you
between
trace
those
the gun's
images and the
owner?
gun that you've been able to recover, do you believe you know who this person is, the person that you're looking for at this point?
Again, as part of the investigation, we're not releasing any details such as that.
Any fingerprints or DNA?
We are exhausting all of our resources to be able to collect those.
Oh boy.
That's again part of the investigation.
Oh
Have you been able
wow.
to trace back the owner of the gun?
Excuse me?
You said you found the weapon. Have you been able to trace back the owner of that weapon or who purchased it?
We are working on that, but again, part of the investigation that I can.
One last question.
Agent Bowles, there's been a lot of turnover at the FBI. Do you think that's impacting the investigation?
Yeah, like
Not at all. We've got
I'm
complete and
sorry.
total support.
Okay, so my understanding is that gun is maybe one of the most nondescript like hunting rifles you can possibly get, and like if like the serial number is filed off or something, like I don't know that they have any possible way of tracing it back to like the buyer. Like I mean, and they might have bought the gun at a gun show. You do have to have a criminal history background check to buy a firearm from a licensed dealer in Utah. Yeah, but like, would that? I don't know that that's relevant here. You know,
from everyone from the director on down, and it's been an incredible supportive environment so far.
Are tweets like the one yesterday useful though, where we announced that there's a suspect arrested?
All I can say is that we're working the investigation the best we have with the environment we're given.
Those are all the questions for right now. Thank you, everybody.
That was it. Wait, that was actually everything they had. Oh god. So that's it. I thought they were gonna have more than this, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, it's a dazzling display of incompetence for sure. Jack, was it Cash on the right, you think? Oh yeah, that's definitely him. That is definitely him. It's just weird that like usually I would imagine like the FBI director like introduces this and then like the person in charge of the investigation would speak, but like, I don't know, maybe he wasn't feeling up to it that day. The stick figure guy? Yeah, Cash Patel is that guy. He's a podcaster, right? He didn't speak. It's crazy. Glasses and cap didn't hide the jawline. Yeah, but also there are like a billion people on the planet with that jawline, you know? Like it's not an abnormal jawline that might like be
not gonna lie,
notable.
But the official FBI account sounds like Susan Smith's claim where they're looking for info on some college guy.
Yeah, it does just sound like they're looking for some guy, some schmuck. Hey, we're looking for any man who might have been in a Walmart in the last 10 years. Just a man in Utah who's been in a Walmart. You know, any of the surrounding states in a Walmart. We're narrowing it down as much as possible. This man, he look like a man. And that's if that is the right guy in those photos. We don't know yet if they got the right person. I mean, I'm fairly sure they got the right person in those photos. Candace Owens just today was like tweeting out about how weird it was that like how the FBI was handling this investigation. Like they're already getting conspiratorial about the Trump administration. Like they think that the Trump administration is still deep stating them. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm kind of here for all of them to fight. Like, yeah, let them all fight each other instead of focusing on ruining the country for hardworking folk who make the things in this country work. I'm in favor of letting them fight and tiring themselves out. I think that's good. I think that leads to a better world.
Riverboat Jack is going to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the scenes. Politics, dating, plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Riverboat Jack.